Hey, a very good afternoon to everyone who's joined. Thank you so much for joining another LeadSquared webinar. So, our session today is exclusively for real estate marketers, not just marketers, even sales agents, of course. So, anyone who has anything to do with real estate marketing, you're most welcome on the show. And of course, our speaker for today is Ashish Gupta, who needs no introduction. If you are a regular joinee of LeadSquared webinars, you would know who he is. He's taken several sessions now. He's also been a part of LeadSquared for several years. So don't worry about how much knowledge you're going to get in this session. He has a wealth of knowledge and he's here to share all that with you. So Ashish, please tell us what you're going to talk about today in the session. And of course, tell us a little bit about yourself as well.
Thank you, Shibani, for the nice introduction. So good afternoon, everyone, to join the session. Thank you very much. I'm working with LeadSquare from past 6 years, and I'll dealt with the various customer with the different industry verticals. So real estate is also one of the core segment we used to cater, and today agenda will be most of real estate agents, broker, business owners. So all these guys require a business holistic view where they can see what all functionality or basically what all users are doing it, how many deals are getting stuck, where they are performing, where they're not performing, what is a business sense, what going to happen in next month, 2 month, and what all things should be needed to drive the business properly. So we'll be talking about how to optimize the process of sales, how to empower your sales team on the field, which goes out and create a site visit for prospect, which comes on office visit also, and all that. So let's start with the session. So I'll start with the agenda for the webinar. So first of all, we'll capture the inquiry. So basically, we'll speak about what all inquiry channels which you have to capture the leads, and how we can capture in LeadSquared or any software which you're using currently. And so how to organize your daily effort. Basically, sales guy have a lot of leads to follow up, and it will not make sense to bombard the leads, and they need to have a nice view and nice agenda to follow up every day what all activities they need to do. So that's a smart view which we have brought in as a new feature in the system. And we'll be talking about the more on automation, how to automate the sales process and marketing process to nurture the leads, and as well as so mobile app, how effectively you can use for your sales team which on field, and how to track them properly. And so leads anyways are coming to different medium, but how we can retarget them on a Facebook, because most of it, I'll give you an analysis of market analysis, where how the current users are purchasing a projects from your buyer segment, and what all segments you have, and how we can manage that in the system. So let's speak about first point. And so various touch point which we have in real estate sector. So you can see on the left side. So you have a new property sales, rental, ready to move in, commercial property, or resale property. These are the main major segment which real estate customer will be catering to. Okay, so either they'll be selling themselves with their field sales team, or inside telecalling team, or some agents. But apart from it, they'll be selling out through a broker and partner, which is a core segment which anybody want to cater it. That's possible in LeadSquared. And then you can see on the right side where I segmented the users. So end user is basically who purchasing home for himself and for consuming him. He'll be residing in that home. And then you'll be having a different segment of broker, investor, and corporate, where you'll be talking to these guys also for rental or maybe commercial property, or investor will be having different investment or on different fresh launch or resale properties and all that. So these are various touch points which sales guys in the real estate sector will have a touch points. We'll start with the capturing part. So we have a lead capture mechanism. So capture, we have inquiries will be coming up for real estate segment, various medium. It may be microsites, it may be a Google AdWord, Facebook, Gmail. You'll be having an IVR telephony or system which you'll be using on, or on a website you'll be having chat, or maybe events which you're running, or maybe if guy who is sitting on site and collecting leads from there itself. So those all leads we can capture in the system. I'll talk about that each and every point. And so let's drive first point from the LeadSquared itself. I'll show you the LeadSquared view. And so this is LeadSquared screen where so we have app marketplace. So we have app marketplace in the system. We need to navigate here. So we have storage of all the connectors available. So pre-built connector to connect different sources in the system. So you can see on the left side, this is chat protocol. So if you're using any of the chat system, which we already have, like Zopen chat or live chat, Ola or anything, you can connect that through. So this ready plugin connector, which we have. Okay, the major segment which we in real estate mostly we'll be capturing through a marketplace, which is basically what we have as a connector ready built, which is like 99 acre or magic bricks or any kind of third party sources you can capture through that. So we can navigate to the app marketplace, Lead marketplace. We have installed it. So we can connect the various sources from here. So maybe Conflow, Shiksha, not Shiksha. In your case, it will be 19 Acre or Magic Bricks or anything. So those can be connected here directly, either through a webhook or either a credential you need to put in the system. Okay. So let's talk about other sources which we have as to be captured. So it's very important to capture the lead from each and every medium where your leads are getting in. So one of the medium can be a telephony vendor if you're connected from the system. So we have various players which we have connected already. Nullity is there, Exotel, Ozontel, and if you don't rely with or these services, or maybe you have any other vendor which is serving you, you can have a generic telephony connector to connect those prospect or inquiry into the system. Okay. Now coming to the system of email, so you'll be having an inquiry system which comes in the system directly. So you'll be having email ID which will be on the website as an info or something where the leads will be coming in. So it's very necessary to capture those leads also. So what we have is email connector, which is email sync app, which will basically whenever the inquiry comes in the system, and it will capture the email as well as it will capture a lead in the system or email communication. Now we have attachment also. If they attach anything, document on all that, so that will also come as a communication in the system. Okay, so let's talk about other medium. So inbound phone call, we spoke about it, like telephony call or inquiry which comes in the system. So either two ways it will be captured. One is IVR system which you're using in the system. So IVR system can be captured directly. We can connect through a connector. Other ways, if you're getting calls direct, so how to capture that? So to capture that, we have a mobile app. So mobile app have a nice functionality where the pop-up form will appear. Then those leads can be captured as a lead. So you can see on the right side, there's a small form where lead can be entered and it will be available in the web version as well. So we'll go about the other section where the website is also a source or microsites. So what we have functionality is, so there are plug and play different connectors available for WordPress. You have a nice API interface where you can connect leads directly through API or maybe form we can create in the system. So we have a mechanism where you can create your own landing pages. So what we have as a landing pages in marketing section. So you can create nice microsites which you are creating as of now in different medium. You can create from here itself, or maybe on those microsite the forms will be there. Those forms can be embedded as in LeadSquared. So LeadSquared will capture those leads in the system. So it's an interface where the landing page can be designed. You can choose any of the different pages. You can see here this is a nice responsive landing page which we have. This is all customizable section which we can create, and you can publish and you can link it with your ads and different medium, Google, Facebook, or wherever you are creating a lead. Okay, so that's another medium to capture a lead. Okay, so we'll come about section where Facebook as a general source in real estate medium, they'll be capturing a lead from Facebook ad. So we'll navigate to the apps marketplace again. So Facebook ad lead, we have a nice connector which is available already. Facebook ad lead connector, we just need to install it. So So what functionality it provides is basically it will give you complete lead in the system. Campaign level configuration is also available, so you can capture the campaigns also. And so that's Facebook ad lead connector. So first steps to what you need to do, you need to log into the account of ads, then you have page with display, then you need to map it, and after mapping the lead will be captured in system, and the campaign level also is possible. um, you must be knowing about the Cambridge Analytica um, glitch which happened for data hampering. Still, the Facebook provide the interface. They are revamping their process of API and data transfer. So in that, still the Facebook lead ad is working properly. Okay. Apart from it, what we have is the landing pages, which I just shown you. So we have forms we can create, or maybe a landing page, beautiful landing page you can create from the system, which will help you out to capture lead. Okay. Now, so coming to the part of Google, so you'll be doing ad on Google. So, but how to capture those leads? One is you can divert to the website or a landing page of LeadSquare that will capture lead in the system. But the enrichment of the data which Google provide, basically based on a GCL ID, so that enrichment can happen from here. So what we have is a Google AdWord data sync. So what it does is basically from every lead or every email ID or phone number have a GCL ID code, which will be associated with the Google, and it will track how many visits happen, which keyword, which campaign, or what all things you have, which Google provide, like say time frame, ad creative, and all that. So this will come as an activity in the system to enrich the data of your system, and that will help you to segregate your marketing budget, which medium is more working, which keyword is more working for you, and that's the add-on point which we have as a Google. Okay. Now coming to the point where all the sources, whether it's offline leads, if you talk about, so offline leads, what we can do is we can capture through form directly. There's ad lead form available and import functionalities available in the system, and mobile app also is there, so field guys can enter lead from the system. So all the leads now is a seamless capture. So that's the first point where leads to be captured from each medium. So now we have captured the lead. So let's run a poll. So Shibani will be running a poll. So Shibani.
Thanks, Ashish. Guys, this is the first poll for the day. So we want to know a little more about you, and here's how you can tell us that. So there you have it. The first poll question: are your lead sources integrated with your lead management system? So I understand that not all of you are LeadSquared customers. So nonetheless, do let us know, is it integrated with LeadSquared? Is it integrated with the tool you use? Or you don't know, or you are sure that it's not integrated? As of now, Ashish, I can tell you that 22% of the audience say it is integrated with LeadSquared. So that I'm guessing, okay, now it's 33% that says LeadSquared integrated with LeadSquared. 38% say that it's integrated with the tool they use. 0% say they don't know, and about 31% say no, it's not integrated. So those of you say it's not integrated, you should get it integrated. Ashish will tell you the benefits of that. Final results, Ashish. About 29 and 43% respectively say that it is either integrated with LeadSquared or with the tool they use.
Great. So guys, I think that's pretty much 33% of customer doesn't have a integrated option. So see, that's very important. All leads should be captured automatically. Otherwise, the manual effort is going up, and as soon as the inquiry comes, you know that in real estate sector there'll be data purchase, and there are different mediums. So Magicbricks is sending a data to you and other vendors also. So it's very important to reach out customer in a stipulated time, which will be 15 minutes or 10 minutes of time. Otherwise, that guy will go with other vendor or broker or anything else. So it's very important. So what I want to ask a question here is, what all channel do you use currently to get inquiries? So you can just type in on a chat. I'll just continue on the presentation. So now after capturing a lead, now you have a lead management and distribution take place. So lead management and distribution. So first comes with the distribution. So once you have a capturing part is clear, now you have agents need to distribute a lead on a different team, which will be maybe a telecalling team, maybe a sales team, which will go out and site visit, or maybe fish team is there. These teams need to get lead or inquiry automatically. So you not need to have a MAS guy to distribute leads on basis of different way. So let's see, this is a flow which is created on a PPT. I'll create that flow in the system also, how to create. It's very easy to do it. So landing page, you are capturing lead now. Call received or telecalling team, which is inbound call. Anyways, we're capturing that. After capturing inquiry, we'll have assignment of leads based on agents. It can be based on urgency. Basically, urgency is you want apartment or maybe flat right now, or maybe within a 5 days or 10 days of time. So if they have a notes which is passed down to LeadSquared, that on that basis also we can do it based on lead type. Basically, a type of inquiry as a broker or end user investor, so that you can judge based on location and budget. So these all things we can automate. Let's see how to do it in the system. So we'll talk about that. So this is a marketing section which we have in automation as a functionality which we used to have a workflow automation we can create here. So how can we do it? So this is lead distribution automation I've created. So what we have is whenever the new lead is getting into the system, we have this is automation flow we can create anytime. So these are trigger points. So whenever the new lead comes in the system, or update happens, so maybe state change or any field value update, maybe budget is changed or anything, or activity happens on the website, or maybe activity, maybe site visit, anything, those will be entered by a sales user. So these are different trigger point. Maybe a date field, which is basically site visit. If you do arrange a schedule a site visit, then before that day or time, you should get a reminder mail to the prospect as well as a sales agent. So that's a different trigger point which we organize. So now we are talking about lead distribution. So whenever the new lead created, what we can do is we have a if and else card. So we have functionality here. These are conditions and these are actions which we can take. So actions can be a messaging action, SMS action, or modification in the lead, or notification to the user, creating a task, distribution, or maybe sending to Facebook retargeting or anything else, any other system. So these are different ways. So what we are doing is new lead whenever this created. Um, so what we are choosing a condition of if and else. So we are having a field in the system which approximate budget, which should be a drop down value, which is belongs to that. So let's say this is segment. So accordingly, I can distribute the leads. I can create a rule here, and I can choose a user whom I need to assign. Okay, and as a nice functionality which we have is distribution will happen only the user when it is available. He's online. Okay, so it's a small functionality. I'll just show you after finishing this, and who is the default owner for that distribution, right? So this is how we can distribute among team member on the basis of budget, maybe location, or maybe lead type. So which we spoke about now, right? And any other way. So it can be any other condition also you can apply. So you can choose if and else condition and any other factor if you want. You can do that also. So that's the easy way to create a lead distribution. Okay, now coming to the lead distribution part, where so currently what we have done is we have just arranged a normal distribution loop. Now what we can do is on the basis of user availability. So how we can do it, user availability and lead quota basis assignments. So every day sales agent will be getting a lead. So you should cap those lead, otherwise they'll not be having associated follow-up with the leads. So what we can do is we have a user and permission where we have assignment quota. Assignment quota is basically you can assign a quota of per day per week to a specific agent. So they'll not be getting enough lead every day. So they should follow up on the lead, and as soon as they get a lead, they'll get a notification, and manager will also get a notification. And you can also have exclusion criteria. So leads, how many they'll get it, or leads with a stage. These are stages. The prospect stages, how many leads they should get it, not exceed by that particular account, and just save it. So after saving it, what it does is it will check the criteria when you distribute leads, and then only it will distribute. You just need to set this out. What we brought in new is, so we have a concept of user check-in and check-out. So whenever the user check-in happens, so you can assign a role, and on the role basis, you can allow them to check in and check out. So it's a small functionality which you can kept on, and so that's the interface. You can see it's a personalized manner. Also, you can do it. So this is pop-up window. You can apply your photo, and that will be easy if you apply it. And you can just check in. So whenever the check-in happens, the lead will be distributed. Okay, so it's whenever they check out, the lead will not be distributed. So the small functionality we brought in. Okay, so let's talk about other functionality in the system. Okay, so we'll come about part of sales prioritization. So how to prioritize leads. Now distribution happen different location, or maybe group or city. Now it's time to prioritize. Prioritize is prioritization. We can do it in a different way. So how to create a prioritization view in the system. So what we have which we can create in the system is it comes under lead section, smart views. So smart view is basically arrangement where the sales guy or agent will have a view. It's also available in mobile app. So this will have options to create a different type of segments. So these segment we can create. We can create all the leads which comes in the system on a particular time range. You can see the count of lead available in the system. Then you can create a segment basis on budget, based on property site visit. So budget is basically any user who has a budget of approximately, these are the range of budget which we have, and it's above 50 lakh budget. These are the leads which we have in the system. Okay, so what we can also do it, we can subscribe to this report. So what it does is it will show you on email every morning. So how many leads which have a budget of 50 lakh and above, it will come to your inbox every day. That's a subscription. Now, how many? So for agent, so to follow up on new lead, that's important. And then second importance is budget wise they can follow. Third importance is, so let's say they have created their site visit today. So they need to have which all clients which have a site visit today. So that segment we have created here. So we have 2 site visits today. So you can create segment that in that way also. And the fourth segment which they'll be working on, the task which is pending for them on a particular time range. So this lead segment we have created. Now these segments are predefined also, and segment you can create yourself. So how to create it? So creation, you can do it on the right side. This arrow option. You have a add new lead tab. You can create tab from here, give a name, give a your color coding. You can create your condition basis on any factor. You can create it. So let's say this is on location. I'll create a location site. So let's say how many leads with a location of Marathalli. I'm just adding a random name here. Settings, location, filter, and save it. So it can be basis on task, it can be basis on lead activity, anything, and save it. So if it matches any of the condition, it will show you the count. There is no lead in the segment. So these kind of we can create. So as a prioritization we can do for the user can do it. Okay, so that's about smart view. And also I'll be speaking about more on the side of sales automation. We'll speak about different ways of automating sales process. Let's speak about the market analysis about different segments. So what we have researched is majority of the buyer comes with a segment of 18 to 24 age group, or and 25 to 34. So that age group have a 36 too. So most of 86% or more than 80% guys in age bracket they'll buy the property. that's a segment. So these, why I'm showing you is this will have an impact. So these guys will mostly on the social media sites. This will have a more interactive, and they have a web searching. So they'll analyze on web mostly. They'll surf on web before buying property. They'll take decision. Without that, they'll not take decision. So what influenced them to take decision? So we'll check this out. So one is property photo, which should be proper on email or on your website. It should be proper information you should push in. You have virtual video if you have for the site, then it's good, or interactive map, or maybe builder reputation is required. So if you're developer, then it's fine. But if you have a different builder which you are catering to a broking firm, so what reputation of builder is very important. And if the reference you got from any of the friends and all that, that also influence it. On the website they'll serve those kind of properties, and they are more keen on the site of whenever they inquire, they should get an email and SMS instant. So it's basically is enrichment of data to the user at a right time, and you are also basically giving your feedback to the prospect, that you are more proactive to the inquiries you're getting in, right? So conversion rate will increase definitely. So I'll speak about how to automate that also. So what is the expectation which consumer is having? So customer expect that instant call, email, SMS, and what I observed is mostly the emailers, real estate emailers saw earlier. So they have a banner or maybe a photo or image on the email, which will not talk about everything. It's just an image, and there'll be link to that. Okay, so it's not good enough to give information to the prospect. It should be a informative where we can have a link click on the email, where you can create a link where to brought into the website or anywhere, and it should be more readable format, not a, because sometimes it happens there'll be internet speed or maybe basis on they'll not be able to download those images and all that. So it'll not help you out, right? So information will be pushed through email in a specified format and should be more informative and crispy. And apart from that, what we can do is related properties. So let's say I'm inquiring for a property in Shadra. Now Shadra so beside that, any properties in that location which we have, so we can educate them for that. That's more important. So that nurturing funnel should go on. Otherwise, the interest will lose. So the buyer will be similar like us. So they'll be looking out property in that region or wherever the price or maybe quality of builder or construction is good. So that you need to inform them what is available in the market. Okay. Now, apart from it, what consumer expect is you need to schedule a visit for that property, which is very important. So after the call, you should create a visit or field visit to that site. So that can be automated also. That can be manual process you can create in the system. So we'll speak about the automating process. So through marketing automation. So this is a flow which we have created whenever the lead is created in system. What we'll do is we'll push SMS or email to the user, and on this basis we check if they open an email or they ask for a request call back. So we create an opportunity to a lead as a stage in the system, or we'll create a task for the user, and we'll also create a offers or nurturing emails. So how to do it, let's speak about that in the automation segment. Okay, so we'll go to the automation part and marketing section, right? So now you have create automation. On the right side, you have, I can create now itself, right? So whenever you enter the automation, you have a segment to choose, or maybe pre-filled templates are available, or you can create from scratch. So let's start from scratch. Whenever the new lead comes, what I'll do is so as per the notification or email, so what we'll do is after the lead is created, I'll send an email. So it's just a basic email which you can send. You can choose any of the template available, or maybe an introduction mail you can send it out, related to property also, or related to your organization, to educate about what organization does and all that. After that, will wait for some time, let's say 1 day or 2 day, or either you can create a wait until email is being opened. So either of this you can do it. So wait until till the open happens. After open happens, what we can do is we can have an action to the sales guy, which we can create a task. So that means they have opened your email and they have shown some interest to your property. Okay, so I can create a follow-up task for the user to call that lead. So we have created automation on the basis of lead creation, and so what we have done is first is email send, wait until the email being opened. We're creating a task. Also, similarly, what we can do is we can create a bucket or segmentation of a list. We can create in the system, add to the list, and that list can be created in the system. We can create a different type of list in the system to nurture or maybe leads which has opened your email. Or other way, what we can do is after that you can send another kind of email matching based on location or educating other site or other packages which we have. So you can create those email templates available in the system, and I'm just using a random template here. Right. Similarly, the same will go on after a day, after 2 day, you can create that. That's how we are creating a flow. Now segment based on their requirement. So basically, whenever the lead enter, so you can just what is the requirement they have, what is the budget they are looking at, what property type or what matching property they have. So accordingly, you can send the information of as a brochure or newsletter or maybe a model of your pictures or your website links where the property is listed, where you can divert them to that. So how to do it is similarly, new lead is created. We'll create the flow here itself. We'll check for condition. So let's say if and else, I'll brought in, I'll check for the budget or I'll check for location or anything. I can create a flow here. After checking condition, we'll apply up rule. Give me a second. Just right. We'll go for the automation again. I think my browser got hanged. Right. We create automation here. From scratch, I'm creating it. Now scratch, I'll create automation, new lead. Now, apart from it, after creation, we'll check for location or budget. So let's say budget and approximately, so whatever property you have in that particular segment, if they belong to this particular budget segment, so I'll create emailers according to those segment. And also I create a specific SMS, which can be a customized SMS also. You can send from the system, send SMS, and that will again a link which you can create. Yeah, so that's SMS I've created. So that's how we can nurture, and also after that you can create another set of emails to until unless they'll get converted. So we'll check again if the email, if the user after wait for let's say 10 days. Now after 10 days, we'll check a condition if the customer, if this guy is converted or not. So if that is converted, so we'll have a stage change to a customer or maybe opportunity. So in that case, you don't want them to follow. If not, then you can again create an email or SMS. So it's copy paste. You can do it. Similar kind of email also you can send, or maybe another set of emails you can send or SMS. Right. So it's simple workflow which we can create. Now, apart from it, what happens is the leads inquiry comes in the system, but the proper details, let's say budget or maybe city, location, which is very much needed to basically market leads or nurturing lead. So if it is missing, so what we can do is we'll ask users, your own callers, to automate that process. So whenever the new lead is created, we wait for 1 day. We'll check if this particular options or this particular activity or fields are not filled up. We'll notify user to fill those options. So how to do it is whenever the new lead created, I'm creating flow here itself. This is flow for nurturing emails. Second flow I'll create here. So that flow will have if and else condition. We'll check if budget field is filled up or not. So let's say I'll take one example. If not defined, That means they are not filling up details. So if yes, then notify user to fill up the data, right? So we can create an email here. Hi, sales team. So basically we can have a owner of the leads. These are mail merge field which will apply. Okay, and you can put your content here and your signature to here, right? So simple emailer, and the content will have a link for the lead to fill up. Please fill necessary data. Okay, so this email can be drafted. So the small automation will help you out to nurturing your lead, and data will be enriched in the system. Okay, apart from it, now other workflow what we can do is, it's very important to notify user on the basis of web visit which happens on your website. So we'll create another set of workflow. That workflow will help your sales team to automate, or at the time of web visit, which we spoke about, very necessary. Whenever the lead is created, should apply on time, they should call, or as soon as they visit website, they should call the lead directly within time frame. So how to do it? So let's say whenever the new activity happens, so new activity, maybe a website visit happens, any page they're visiting, or you can specific page also you can choose. If they're visiting this page, then what we can do is we can wait for, let's say, minutes of 15. We'll ask users, first is will prompt users to act on that lead. So we'll notify user, first is that, and we'll wait for 15 minutes. We'll check if user has acted on that lead or not. So acted on lead means they'll be inserting some kind of activity which we have as a comment will be inserted on the lead. So that comment, if they are inserted, you can choose all those activities which they'll be inserting. If yes, then you don't need to follow. But if no, then you should notify user. It's escalation mechanism I'm creating it. Notify user and keep manager in CC. So simple workflow. I'm notifying user also. Simultaneously, I can create task also for the user so that the lead will not be missed. Okay, after certain time, after 15 minutes, the task will be created for them. So that's how you're enriching your sales guys. Sales automation, you can give a name here, and right. So that's how the small process will help your team to nurture and activate your old leads which is coming on the website now, and they're not following up. So you'll get different kind of notification to the sales guy, and also you can create a list on segmentation, right? Okay, so apart from it, what else we can do? So what else we can do is we can retarget those kind of leads which we spoke about. So mostly you can see in market analysis, I've shown you most of the user from age group of 18 to 34, they'll be purchasing a property. Those are the most recent buyers for the real estate segment. So those guys will have access to Facebook account, and they will be surfing through. So you can retarget them. So how to retarget them? So retargeting can happen on any way. So you can apply any type of condition before trigger point. So maybe new lead created, or maybe website visit or something. So let's say I'll speak about now website visited only. So whenever they visit website, and we'll check another condition, because we cannot show ads to all the team, all the leads which is available. So if you want to segment those, what you can do is we can check if these belongs to the upper segment or HNI. I am choosing all the budgets, which all the leads which have budget of more than 60 lakh. Okay, if it is yes, now I can show the ads to those guys. So at showing ad, what LeadSquared will provide you is LeadSquared will push that lead to a Facebook app and list of leads in the Facebook. Okay, that's how we can retarget that. So this ad app which is available in the system, and if you don't see in the your app list, then you can just contact your customer success manager and sales guys to check that out. Okay. Right. So Shibani, I want you to run a poll now.
Sure, Ashish. So Ashish showed you the benefits of automation. Let's dive straight into that. I want to know, are you using automations for your sales and marketing process? So the question's there on your screen. Are you using automation for your sales and marketing process? And like I said earlier, I know not all of you are LeadSquared customers. So If you have automations in the tool you currently use, please respond to that as well. So the options are: yes, we use LeadSquared automations; yes, we use automations provided by the tool we use; no, we don't use automations; and you don't know. Ashish, I can see the majority are currently not using automations. So you should really start using automations, as you just saw what automations can do. Please do try to use it. Either buy LeadSquare and use automations, or use automations provided by your tool. Whatever the case may be, use it. So final results, Ashish. 13% say they use LeadSquared automations, about 44% say they use automations provided by the tool they use, and about 44% say they do not use automations. 6% of that say they don't know. I would also like to, just before I hand it over to Ashish, I will also tell you some of the answers that we got based on your earlier question, Ashish, which is related to how do they generate leads for to capture inquiries. Some of the answers we got then were Facebook, LinkedIn, bulk email, SMS, Google mostly. And then another answer we got that said Facebook, Google AdWords, website, call, email, and SMS. Okay, so I'm handing it over to Ashish again to take the session forward.
Thank you everyone for responses. We got nice inputs here. So channels, mostly we can capture, and other channels which if they are not integrated, you can check your respective providers or LeadSquared success team to do it. So let's talk about next portion where field team, how to empower those field agent to track through mobile app. Okay, so what we have is a mobile app functionality available in LeadSquared to track the user and track the usage of the field team, how they are meeting a customer and how they are going out. So it's basically it's weird, like say users will be the sales user will be going out for a site visit, but maybe they're sitting in hall and watching movie. So we can track that out. So LeadSquared will help you, and they'll follow on those users. Uh, okay, so how to do it? So you should download a mobile app, and we have a nice functionality of check-in, check-out. So it enables a check-in location service, GPS app, GPS location service on your app, and it will track your real-time location and where you are traveling in, which paths you have taken, and it also depends on device, but mostly it gives you a location when the location GPS location is on. Okay, and when you check in, it will track, and it tracks within 5 minutes of time. And so live tracking will happen. You can see here, that's a slide which we can see here, and we'll have an activity. So you can see the path on the left side with the guy has traveled. This is green where the check-in, and red is a checkout, and below and in between this path they have a meeting, different type of follow-up activity he has done, and what time he did, and which is the address, which is the lead, and what is the nodes and location. Everything is available. Okay, that's a nice view where we can see what sales team is doing it and how much distance they traveled across the path. Okay, so I know that's in real estate there is a part where you guys incentivize on the basis of meetings as well as the total conversion, right? So this is nice functionality which you can use through mobile app. Now, again, what we have is functionality of location update. Says what we have as you can update the location of lead, and update lead location as a functionality in the mobile app, and that lead will be a will get an address, proper address when you're going out and meeting that customer on their own home. Then you can do it, and this will help. So this will not help for the end user, but maybe end user will come to your office and site visit, but those guys maybe resale property will be going out for meeting those prospect in house, their house itself, maybe broker, maybe investor, or maybe corporate. So on those cases, those lead type, you can manage those inquiry here and update lead location. So what it helps you? So it helps you to manage inquiry, broker, investor near me. So I can see what all prospect near me, what all leads near me, what all broker near me, what all corporate near me, which have address and and you'll see the distance. You can see path, travel, everything will be available, right? So it's empowering your team, field team, to go out and plan your meeting properly, right? So today is a day for broking firm meet broking firm, or all the brokers which we have in the location. So you can tap those brokers. So basically, your team will be engaging brokers also, as well as corporate, where they can tap HR managers and all that to have uh, right? So those things can be tracked, and you can see all the leads near me. Now, what we have is so all mobile app functionality will have a tracking option. So tracking is basically your calls will be tracked. You can see on the right side duration of the call, your missed call, your SMS. Though I think few of the channels you have is SMS also, right? So SMS, if you're sending from your own phone, that will be captured if that is a lead in the system. It will capture as a response, as well as everything will be captured. So mostly the responses will be call, email, and SMS. All three will be captured in the system. So this is a page which we have, right? And you can also add activity will be a field visit or anything. You can record that from the system itself on mobile app, and that will have attachment to it. So you can attach a document of site visit, or maybe photo of the prospect. That is also possible, or anything about activity. So let's say they have given a check directly, you can attach a check here itself, right? That is very crucial for a field team to empower that. So mobile app does those functionality. So I'll quickly ask Shibani to run a poll again for you, and yeah, so Shibani, over to you.
Thanks, Ashish. So now let's talk about the LeadSquared mobile app, which is also the mobile CRM. There goes your question again, for customers who are, I mean, for those who are not LeadSquared customers who've joined the show today. Please let us know if you're using any other mobile app, of course. So here goes the question: are you empowering your field sales agents with the mobile app? So are you tracking them? Do you know where they are? Like Ashish said, do you know if they're sitting and watching a movie rather than doing their job? So here are the options. Yes, we use LeadSquared mobile app. Yes, we use the mobile app or mobile CRM provided by the tool. So that means if you're using another tool, are you using the mobile app provided by that tool? No, you don't use a mobile app and you're not sure. 43% say they are using LeadSquared mobile app. 21% say they are using the mobile app provided by the tool. 36% say they are not using any mobile app yet.
Thank you, Shibani, for running a poll. Okay, so great. So I think most of these guys, 43% uses mobile app of LeadSquared. That's good. And if you're not using mobile app functionality, those guys can check it out, sign up for LeadSquared and check how it works and all that. Okay. Uh, so we'll talk about next functionality to track activities and sales action point, where single lead, you can see the single lead have all those options: how many times they visited a website page, how many times they called upon, what is the email you have sent, if you're notifying user, all those things, communication will come as a lead history in the system. You can track each and every point of the lead. And apart from it, interaction will be captured through mobile app, as well as call recording will come in the system if you have connected your IVR. And email, we provide an email service in the system itself, so that will be available in the system, as well as SMS will be captured in the system. Okay. Now, keeping information captured about leads, so which we spoke about now. So as a marketing point of view, all the interaction, everything will be captured in the system. We'll see the lead history, and on the mobile app how it looks like, and on desktop app how it look like. That's how the view will be available on both the screens. Okay, so let's talk about all the reports which you should be looking at every day. As a real estate agent or manager or business owner, you'll be looking at every day few of the report which will be useful for you. So how to get this reports available in the system? So what we have a functionality of, there are two set of reports will be available. One is you have a dashlet. So every day you can just create your own dashboard. You have a dashlet available in the system. So this is a dashlet which we have created for budget and stage analysis. How many leads are there in the system and in a particular time frame, which particular budget they belongs to. So let's say you can see 45 to 50 lakh we have one lead, 70 to 75 is one. So and which stages they are into. So only one is converted, which doesn't have value, which we spoke about. We can enrich this field gap value through automation. You can ask users to fill up properly, and how many site visit are not interested. So this is one of the way where dashboard will show you all the different history or all the funnel of the system, how much you have worked on. Apart from it, few of the report which we can explore from here. We have a report section, report home, where you'll see all the analytics available, and those analytics will talk about that. So analytics will have a different reports. Let's talk about task summary report, where every day user will be doing some tasks. So this report comes in the system, and you can see on the left side, these are the users, how many tasks they added on a particular time frame, how many due, how many completed, how many pending. There's important report you'll be looking at. So task can be a site visit task also, or any type of task. You can create, customize those kind of tasks also in the system, and this can be scheduled, and you can also download that in Excel format. Okay. Next report we should be looking at is user productivity summary. That is a report which comes under user activity reports, and you have a stage. These are different filters which is available, and you can see all the users and different details. So how many times she has logged in last 10 days, how many activities she has done. So she's having 623 leads in her name, and 263 is not leads has been contacted in last 10 days. That is a good number. And how many activities she has posted. So these are different activities she has posted, and you can also drill down those activities. There'll be drill down report will be available. So that's a user productivity summary. Then again, so that's a lead dashboard. So lead dashboard is will give you overall picture of how many leads you gotten in a particular time frame, which sources you are getting in all the leads, percentage wise and number, and stage, which stages they are into, and which origin, basically how it is being generated, either through mobile app or bulk upload, or you have a website form, landing page form, anything, and who is owning those kind of leads in the last 30 days of time frame. Okay, right. Yeah, apart from it, so this is section we have a report. There are near about 100 plus reports are available, and you can explore that different set of reports. And what we have is there are different elements, lead field analysis, distribution analysis basis on 2 field, 3 field, or 4 field, where we can analyze data basis on location, city, or source, anything. And we also have a conversion report which will give you overall picture of how many leads are being converted in the system. That's a detailed analysis, but most of these reports will be useful for the marketing and admin person. And these reports will give you insight of how leads are being flowing into the system. You can see this is a 2 field analysis. You can see by owner or by source, or you can change your type of fields. So this should be available in the system as a field value, and then only you can run the reports. On the left side, the field you have chosen, it will come, and on the top, this is how it will appear. And you can schedule as well. You can give a name to that report, and that will come in box every day. You can go and save report and schedule it, right? So this is how these reports will be available to you. Okay, great. So all right. So I want Shibani to run again a poll, and I think that's about real estate segment. We spoke about all the automations, all the workflow. Hope you find the session interesting.
Thank you so much, Ashish. I can tell you it has been interesting. I suppose we've got quite a few questions that our co-panelists here, Rahul's been addressing. We've got some recommendations also for the product. So this is the final question for the day. Did you find this webinar useful? Yes. So glad I joined, which means we're glad you joined. You found a few things that were useful. So if that's the case, then pick that option, and no, not at all. So I can happily say, Ashish, that no one's picked the last option so far. 69% say yes, they're so glad they joined the session, and 31% say they found a few things useful.
Thank you everyone for joining the session.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, Ashish, for a great session. Bye bye. Have a good week.